Apart from securing legislation to ensure that Guyanese will be employed in Guyana's imminent oil industry, government is saying it plans to ensure that transparency prevails in all dealings on the new extractive resource.
The watchword for the government seems to be one of transparency. What is being done to ensure that that process is had?
Well, events such as this today, making us a member of the EITI. So not only are we saying that we are going to be transparent, but by being a member of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, it is now compulsory. So we're kind of making it compulsory even for ourselves. That sometimes governments tend to want. There's a nature of government to be a bit shy in facing the public, sometimes even secretive. But once you belong to organizations like this, and the world is looking at you, you don't have a choice. Even if you're thinking about it, you can't.
Natural Resources Minister Raphael Trotman at a recently hosted symposium. The minister assures that his government is pushing feverishly to become a member of 2 international standards agencies so that all dealings will be public and transparent.
So we're pushing ourselves before the oil comes to be a party or a member of this, and there's another called Open Government Partnership. We're also looking to be a member of that later on.
While it is too soon to tell the content of legislation regarding the oil and gas sector, Minister Trotman has informed that Guyana is currently receiving support from the Mexican government, as well as Canada, the United States of America, and the Commonwealth Secretariat. Additionally, the minister informed that he and Finance Minister Winston Jordan will be heading to Uganda shortly to see how they are managing, since that country will commence oil extraction shortly.
They're going to start producing oil next year. They're just like us, and so we've been invited there, and it's being sponsored by an organization called Chatham House in association with the Commonwealth Secretariat for us to observe how they have prepared. So the legislation is being looked at right now by a number of international experts. We will now review it because we have our own opinions as to where that money should go, because our country, no 2 countries are alike. And our needs and priorities, of course, are going to be different.
What is being done to ensure that Big Brother is not going to be dictating what happens?
Well, by setting the terms of our own agenda rather than being instructed, it's important that we stand up, and I believe we're doing well so far. And we've had no indications of anyone seeking to instruct us, but of course we're being nudged to avoid what is known as the resource curse. It's also called sometimes the Dutch disease, because it's a well-known fact that many countries that are the richest with resources are also the poorest. You just have to look around the world, and there are countries that have little or nothing in terms of any natural resource, and they're doing very well. And the question is, why is that? So it's good to look to others for examples and to avoid some of the pitfalls that other countries have gone through. And for us, we know that we're not going to be immune from some of the symptoms, but we want to keep them to a minimum. And that's why a lot of the steps we're taking now are to avoid them in the future.
Mondale Smith, HGP Nightly News.